Imagine growing up in poverty so severe that even a single can of Coke feels like an unattainable luxury. Imagine knowing that one wrong step, one miscalculation, could trap you in a cycle of struggle forever. Kristy Shen did not just imagine this. She lived it. From the slums of China to achieving financial independence in her early 30s. Her journey is proof that wealth isn't about luck, privilege, or a high-paying job. It's about strategy, mindset, and the courage to question everything society teaches us about money. In Quit Like a Millionaire, Shen and her husband Bryce Leung dismantle myths about financial success, exposing the traps of debt, overspending, and traditional retirement. With sharp wit and brutal honesty, they reveal a path to wealth that anyone, regardless of background, can follow. This isn't just a book about money. It's about reclaiming your freedom, rewriting your future, and quitting on your own terms. Chapter 1. Blood Money. Growing up in extreme poverty meant that every penny had to be stretched to its limit. There was no room for waste, and every decision had real consequences. The cost of food, clothing, and even the most basic necessities had to be carefully considered. Every meal was a struggle, and nothing could be taken for granted. Survival depended on making smart choices, not just in the moment, but with a long-term mindset. Education was seen as the only way out. There was no safety net, no backup plan. Either study hard and succeed, or be trapped in poverty forever. School wasn't just about learning. It was a fight for a better future. A report card wasn't just a piece of paper. It was a lifeline. Falling behind wasn't an option because every grade could determine whether life would be spent in struggle or security. The pressure was immense, but failure was not an option. Even small luxuries were out of reach. A bottle of Coke was something most people didn't think twice about, but here it was different. The price of a single can had to be measured against how much food it could buy. Could that money go toward a bag of rice instead? The decision was clear. In a world where every dollar mattered, instant gratification was a trap. Short-term pleasure always had to be weighed against long-term survival. Nothing could ever be wasted. If something broke, it had to be fixed. If something could be reused, it was. Money wasn't just about numbers. It was about survival. Every spending choice had to serve a real purpose. There was no room for unnecessary purchases. It wasn't about being cheap. It was about being smart. Every cent spent had to be justified, and anything that didn't provide value was left behind. Hard work was essential, but it wasn't enough on its own. No matter how many hours were worked, it wouldn't matter if money was spent the wrong way. The real key was learning how to make money work for the future. Every dollar saved today could mean security tomorrow. Money wasn't just something to be earned and spent. It was a tool that had to be used wisely. Debt was a trap to be avoided at all costs. Owing money meant losing freedom. It meant being stuck, working just to pay off past mistakes. The only way to move forward was to stay out of debt, no matter what. If something couldn't be bought with cash, it wasn't worth having. Credit wasn't an option, because every borrowed dollar was another chain holding the future back. The mindset had to shift from survival to growth. It wasn't enough to just make ends meet. The real goal was to find a way to break free, to make sure that money would never be a problem again. Saving was only the first step. Learning how to invest, how to make money work instead of just working for money. That was the real secret to breaking the cycle of poverty. Security was worth more than status. Fancy things didn't matter if they came at the cost of financial freedom. Every decision had to be about building a future, not impressing others. Real wealth wasn't about how much was spent. It was about how much was kept. While others wasted money trying to look rich, the real winners were the ones who focused on building something that would last. There was no such thing as luck. The only way to get ahead was to make smart choices. Some people were born into wealth, but for everyone else, the only path forward was through careful planning and disciplined action. Financial independence wasn't about shortcuts or quick wins. It was about making smart decisions over and over again until they added up to something life-changing. Every experience, every struggle, every lesson pointed to one truth. Money had to be handled with care because the way it was managed determined everything. The difference between being stuck in poverty and achieving financial freedom wasn't about how much was earned. It was about how much was saved, invested, and protected. And in a world where every dollar mattered, knowing how to use money wisely was the most valuable skill of all. Chapter 2. Peach syrup, cardboard boxes, and a can of Coke. In a small village in rural China, a young girl experienced a life where luxuries were scarce and every possession held significant value. One day, her family acquired a can of Coke, a rare and coveted treat in their community. Instead of consuming it all at once, she savored the beverage over several weeks, taking small sips to prolong the enjoyment. Once the can was empty, it didn't lose its worth. She transformed it into a treasured keepsake, using it as a toy and a symbol of indulgence. This experience taught her to maximize pleasure from limited resources and to cherish every item she possessed. In her neighborhood, children often lacked access to conventional toys. However, this scarcity didn't hinder their playtime. Instead, it fueled their creativity. They collected discarded cardboard boxes, fashioning them into makeshift playhouses and forts. Peach syrup tins became pretend cookware in their imaginative games. These improvised playthings not only provided entertainment, but also fostered a sense of resourcefulness. The children learned to see potential in everyday objects, repurposing them to suit their needs and desires. Living in an environment where every resource was precious, wastefulness was not an option. The community practiced frugality out of necessity, ensuring that nothing usable was discarded. Clothing was mended repeatedly, food was consumed in its entirety, and household items were repaired rather than replaced. This lifestyle instilled in the young girl a deep appreciation for the value of goods and the importance of mindful consumption. She learned that with careful management, even limited resources could provide comfort and satisfaction. As she grew older, the lessons from her childhood remained ingrained in her mindset. The ability to derive joy from simple pleasures became a cornerstone of her approach to life. She understood that happiness wasn't solely dependent on material wealth, but could be cultivated through gratitude and ingenuity. This perspective influenced her future decisions, guiding her toward a path where she prioritized financial security and intentional living over the pursuit of excess. Reflecting on her upbringing, she recognized that the challenges she faced had equipped her with valuable skills. The necessity to innovate with limited means had honed her creativity, enabling her to think outside the box and find unique solutions to problems. The frequent obstacles had built her resilience, allowing her to navigate difficulties with determination and poise. Adapting to ever-changing circumstances had made her flexible, ready to adjust her plans as needed. And the constant need to strive for betterment had instilled in her a sense of perseverance, driving her to pursue her goals relentlessly. These foundational experiences didn't just shape her character, they laid the groundwork for her future success. The principles of frugality, resourcefulness, and appreciation for simple joys became the bedrock upon which she built her life. By applying these lessons, she was able to navigate the complexities of adulthood with a clear sense of purpose and direction. Ultimately, the values cultivated during her formative years guided her towards achieving financial independence and a fulfilling life, demonstrating that early experiences can profoundly influence one's trajectory. Chapter 3. Be educated or die. Survival was never guaranteed. Every decision carried weight, and the only way out of poverty was through knowledge. Understanding that financial freedom wasn't about luck, but about making calculated moves, the first step was clear. Education was the only way forward. But not just any education. The world was filled with stories of people drowning in student debt with degrees that held little value. Choosing the right field of study wasn't a matter of personal passion, but of practicality. The goal wasn't just to graduate, but to gain access to a career that could provide financial stability. Fields like engineering, medicine, and technology weren't chosen out of love, but because they offered job security, high starting salaries, and long-term growth. Once inside the academic world, every moment mattered. Tuition fees, textbooks, and living expenses could easily pile up, creating a financial trap before even stepping into the workforce. The solution wasn't to borrow endlessly, but to seek scholarships, grants, and work opportunities. Every dollar that didn't have to be repaid later was a victory. Instead of taking out massive student loans that would take decades to pay off, scholarships and merit-based funding became the tools to break free from financial dependency. If borrowing was necessary, it was done with caution, only for essential expenses, never for luxury. Education was never just about attending classes. It was about excelling in them. The better the grades, the better the chances of securing internships, landing job offers, and gaining professional connections. Internships weren't just resume fillers. They were stepping stones into well-paying careers. A single internship at the right company could lead to a job offer before graduation, bypassing the struggles of job hunting. Graduation was not the finish line. It was the beginning of a carefully planned strategy. The job market was approached with the same precision as education. Resumes were optimized to stand out. Interviews were prepared for extensively, and negotiations were not feared but embraced. The first salary wasn't just a paycheck. It was the foundation of financial independence. The temptation to inflate lifestyle after securing a well-paying job was always present. Many fell into the trap of buying expensive cars, moving into luxurious apartments, or dining at high-end restaurants just because they could. But the smartest move was resisting this urge. The more money saved early on, the faster financial independence could be achieved. Instead of increasing expenses to match income, expenses were kept low while earnings grew. This meant living modestly, renting instead of buying, and prioritizing needs over wants. With savings building up, the next step was investing. The stock market wasn't a gamble, but a tool. And instead of chasing risky investments, a simple approach worked best: low-cost index funds. These required no active management, no constant monitoring, and no expertise. They simply grew over time, compounding wealth quietly in the background. The key was consistency, investing regularly, regardless of market conditions, letting time and compounding do the heavy lifting. Even with a high-paying job and solid investments, learning never stopped. Staying informed about financial trends, job market shifts, and new investment opportunities ensured that every decision was made with knowledge, not guesswork. Professional development was constant. Attending industry events, taking additional courses, and networking with the right people kept career opportunities open and salary potential rising. Building connections in the professional world wasn't just about making friends. It was about creating opportunities. A strong network provided mentorship, referrals, and guidance that could accelerate career and financial growth. Seeking out people who had already achieved financial independence provided insights into what worked and what mistakes to avoid. Every decision, from choosing an education to saving, investing, and networking, was a step toward financial freedom. It wasn't about working harder, but about working smarter. With discipline, patience, and the right strategy, financial independence was not just possible, it was inevitable. Chapter 4. Don't follow your passion yet. Many people grow up hearing the advice, follow your passion and success will follow. While this idea sounds inspiring, it often leads to financial hardship. Passion alone does not guarantee a stable income, and choosing a career based purely on personal interests without considering financial realities can result in frustration and struggle. Instead of making passion the top priority, it is far wiser to focus on acquiring valuable skills that are in demand. Once financial security is achieved, passion can be explored without the pressure of needing to survive on it. A common mistake is choosing a profession simply because it feels exciting without understanding whether it pays well or has enough job opportunities. Many dream of becoming musicians, writers, filmmakers, or professional athletes, but these fields are incredibly competitive, with very few people earning a sustainable income from them. The reality is that talent and passion are not always enough. Many passionate individuals struggle financially because their chosen field does not provide steady work or decent wages. The smarter approach is to develop skills that have financial value first, then later use that stability to explore creative or personal interests. One of the biggest misunderstandings is the belief that a career must feel exciting from day one. Many people assume that if they do not feel instant passion for a job, it is the wrong path for them. This is not true. Passion often develops after a person gains experience and mastery. When someone is good at something, they tend to enjoy it more. For example, learning to code might seem boring at first, but after mastering it and seeing the results, a person may find great satisfaction in solving complex problems. Instead of searching for a dream job immediately, it is better to choose a field that offers strong financial rewards and then grow into it over time. Another key issue is financial dependency. When someone jumps into a low-paying passion career too soon, they may find themselves stuck in a cycle of paycheck-to-paycheck survival. Instead of doing what they love, they spend most of their energy just trying to cover rent, groceries, and bills. This financial stress kills creativity and enthusiasm. Even the most passionate person will feel exhausted if they are constantly worried about money. On the other hand, those who establish financial security first have the freedom to take creative risks. They can afford to explore passion projects without worrying about immediate income. This strategy does not mean giving up on passion altogether. Instead, it means delaying passion until it is financially safe to pursue. A person who builds a strong financial foundation by working in a high-paying field can later transition into something they love on their own terms. They can afford to take breaks, experiment with new careers, or even start businesses without the fear of financial collapse. This kind of freedom is only possible when money is a tool for choice rather than a source of stress. Some careers that seem exciting also come with hidden risks. For example, a person who dreams of becoming a travel blogger might be excited at the idea of getting paid to see the world. But the reality is that making a full-time income from travel blogging is extremely difficult, and very few people succeed in earning enough to sustain themselves. Instead, learning digital marketing, software development, or another high-income skill first provides a safety net. With savings and investments in place, they can later explore blogging without financial pressure. There is also a misconception that people must love what they do every day. The truth is, work is work, even if it is enjoyable. What matters most is choosing a career that provides stability, growth, and opportunities. Financial security creates power, the power to walk away from a job, the power to take risks, and the power to design life on one's own terms. When financial independence is achieved, passion can be pursued fully, without compromise. Those who prioritize financial stability first can eventually create a life where they do what they love without stress. Instead of being forced to monetize a passion, they can enjoy it for its own sake. They can take creative risks, explore hobbies, and even switch careers without fear. The ability to choose work, rather than be forced into it, is the ultimate freedom. This freedom is only possible when passion is delayed until financial security makes it a true choice rather than a desperate necessity. Chapter 5. IOU equals I Own You. Debt is often seen as a necessary part of life, a tool for achieving goals that seem out of reach without financial assistance. Whether it's buying a house, funding education, or simply covering everyday expenses, borrowing money has become a common practice. However, the hidden truth is that debt can quickly turn into a lifelong burden that limits choices and forces people into financial dependency. The illusion of financial freedom disappears when interest accumulates and payments become an endless cycle. Instead of being a tool for prosperity, debt can become a trap, keeping individuals from reaching true financial security. One of the biggest dangers of debt is that it disconnects people from the true value of money. When using credit, it's easy to spend without feeling the immediate impact. A credit card swipe requires no effort, no visible loss, and no immediate consequences. This is very different from spending cash, where the physical exchange of money creates awareness of what is being given up. This psychological distance from actual money makes it easier to overspend, leading people to live beyond their means. The marketing tactics used by financial institutions encourage this behavior, offering credit cards with attractive rewards, easy installment plans, and buy now, pay later schemes. These strategies make it seem as though borrowing is not only normal but also beneficial. In reality, these companies thrive on people getting stuck in cycles of borrowing and repayment. The most dangerous aspect of debt is the accumulation of interest. While compound interest is often praised as a tool for growing investments, it works against borrowers in an equally powerful way. When someone carries a credit card balance, interest is charged on both the principal amount and the previously accumulated interest. This snowball effect can make it nearly impossible to escape debt once it reaches a certain threshold. Many people only make the minimum payments, unaware that they are mostly covering interest rather than reducing the original amount owed. Over time, this means they end up paying far more than they initially borrowed. Student loans are another example of how debt can control a person's life. Many students take out loans without fully understanding how long it will take to repay them. They assume that once they graduate and secure a well-paying job, they will be able to pay off their debt easily. However, the reality is often different. Monthly payments stretch over decades, and in some cases, the growing interest makes the total amount owed even larger than what was initially borrowed. This financial burden influences major life decisions, forcing people to delay homeownership, starting a family, or pursuing careers they truly enjoy because they are locked into making payments. Debt is not just a financial issue. It is a form of control. When someone is in debt, their ability to make choices is significantly reduced. They must prioritize loan repayments over personal desires, career opportunities, and even basic needs. Many people stay in jobs they dislike simply because they need to make their monthly payments. Employers recognize this and may take advantage by offering lower salaries, knowing that employees have no choice but to accept. In contrast, those who are debt-free have the power to negotiate better wages, take career risks, or even step away from traditional employment altogether. The first step to escaping the cycle of debt is to prioritize paying off high-interest loans. Many financial institutions encourage people to make only the minimum payments, which benefits the lender but keeps the borrower trapped. Instead, aggressive repayment strategies must be adopted, such as cutting unnecessary expenses and redirecting savings toward reducing debt. Identifying where money is being wasted is crucial, whether it's dining out frequently, paying for unused subscriptions, or making impulsive purchases. Every dollar saved can be used to pay down debt faster, reducing the total interest paid over time. Avoiding new debt is equally important. Many people believe they can manage their finances responsibly while still using credit cards or taking on new loans. However, the best approach is to minimize borrowing altogether. If a purchase cannot be made with existing savings, it should be reconsidered. Debt also affects mental health. The stress of owing money, combined with the pressure of making payments, can take a significant emotional toll. Many people experience anxiety, depression, and even physical health problems due to financial stress. Chapter 6. No one's coming to save you. In the pursuit of financial independence, a crucial understanding emerges. True security stems from personal responsibility. Relying on external entities, be it government programs, employers, or even well-intentioned family members, can lead to vulnerability, as these sources may not always provide the support one anticipates. Economic landscapes are ever-changing, and systems that once seemed dependable, such as pensions or Social Security, may no longer offer the safety nets they once did. This unpredictability underscores the importance of taking control of one's financial destiny. Embracing a mindset shaped by experiences of scarcity can serve as a powerful motivator. This perspective fosters resilience and resourcefulness, prompting individuals to make the most of limited resources and to seek opportunities where others might see none. By internalizing the belief that resources are finite and that one's actions directly impact their availability, individuals are more likely to make prudent financial decisions. A fundamental aspect of this self-reliant approach involves the strategic management of debt. Uncontrolled debt can become a significant barrier to financial freedom. Prioritizing the elimination of high-interest debts not only reduces financial strain, but also frees up resources that can be redirected towards savings and investments. This proactive stance on debt management is essential for building a solid financial foundation. In tandem with debt reduction, cultivating a habit of consistent saving is indispensable. Regularly setting aside a portion of income serves multiple purposes. It acts as a buffer against unforeseen expenses, provides a sense of security, and accumulates capital that can be invested to generate passive income. This disciplined approach to saving ensures that individuals are prepared for financial emergencies and are steadily progressing toward their financial goals. Investing plays a pivotal role in achieving financial independence. By allocating funds into assets that appreciate over time, such as stocks, bonds, or real estate, individuals can harness the power of compound interest to grow their wealth. It's essential to conduct thorough research and possibly consult financial advisors to make informed investment choices that align with one's risk tolerance and long-term objectives. Another key strategy involves living below one's means. This doesn't necessitate a life of deprivation, but rather encourages mindful spending. By distinguishing between needs and wants, individuals can allocate their resources more effectively, ensuring that expenditures align with their values and long-term aspirations. This conscious approach to consumption not only aids in accumulating savings, but also fosters a sense of contentment and purpose. Diversifying income streams further enhances financial security. Relying solely on a single source of income, such as a primary job, can be risky. Exploring additional avenues, be it side businesses, freelance work, or passive income sources like dividends or rental properties, can provide financial stability and accelerate the journey toward independence. This diversification ensures that if one income stream is disrupted, others can help sustain financial well-being. Continuous education and skill development are also vital components of financial self-reliance. The job market is dynamic, and staying adaptable by acquiring new skills can open doors to better employment opportunities or entrepreneurial ventures. Investing in oneself not only enhances earning potential, but also provides a competitive edge in an ever-evolving economic landscape. Building a robust emergency fund is another cornerstone of financial independence. Setting aside 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses ensures that unexpected events, such as medical emergencies or job loss, don't derail long-term financial plans. This safety net provides peace of mind and allows individuals to navigate unforeseen challenges without resorting to debt. Regularly reviewing and adjusting one's financial plan is essential to stay on track. Life circumstances and goals can change, and being flexible allows individuals to adapt their strategies accordingly. Periodic assessments help identify areas for improvement and ensure that financial habits remain aligned with overarching objectives. Chapter 7. Confessions of a Former Purse Junkie. A young woman once believed that happiness could be measured by the weight of a designer purse on her shoulder. Each time she walked past a luxury store, she felt an irresistible pull, as if owning one of those expensive bags would bring her closer to the kind of life she had always dreamed of. One where she looked successful, felt confident, and, most importantly, proved to the world that she had made it. Growing up with very little, she had always envied people who could afford nice things. As soon as she landed a stable, well-paying job, she began indulging in what she thought was a well-deserved reward system. Her first big purchase was a beautiful handbag, something she had fantasized about for years. The moment she bought it, she felt an exhilarating rush of excitement. Carrying it made her feel important, as if she had suddenly transformed into the kind of person she had always wanted to be. But that feeling was fleeting. It wasn't long before the excitement faded, and she found herself yearning for the next purchase. Each new item, whether it was another handbag, a pair of designer shoes, or a luxurious coat, provided a temporary high. It was addictive, a cycle that kept repeating itself. She convinced herself that she was building a collection, something that represented her success. But in reality, she was chasing a sense of fulfillment that never lasted. The moment of realization came when she saw a woman carrying an even more expensive handbag. The purse she had worked so hard to afford, the one she thought would bring her happiness, suddenly seemed ordinary. Instead of feeling proud, she felt envious. That's when it hit her. No matter how much she spent, there would always be something better, something newer, something more expensive that she didn't have. It was a race with no finish line. She started questioning why she had placed so much value on these material things. Why did a brand name have so much power over her emotions? The answer, she realized, was simple. Marketing. The fashion industry was built on making people feel like they were incomplete without their products. Advertisements didn't just sell handbags or shoes. They sold an identity, a promise that owning a luxury item would make someone more desirable, successful, or admired. Determined to break free, she decided to analyze how much she had actually spent over the years. The numbers shocked her. Thousands of dollars had gone into items that now sat in her closet, collecting dust. If she had invested that money instead, it could have grown into something far more valuable. She started educating herself on how money really worked. She learned that wealth wasn't about what people saw, it was about freedom. Instead of mindlessly spending on things that would only make her happy for a moment, she began focusing on what truly mattered. She discovered that financial security gave her far more peace of mind than any handbag ever could. She learned to redirect her money towards things that had lasting value, investments that grew over time rather than depreciated the moment they left the store. As she started saving and investing, something unexpected happened. She no longer felt the urge to shop for things she didn't need. The more she understood money, the more she saw through the illusion that luxury brands had created. She stopped looking for happiness in shopping bags and started finding it in the freedom that financial independence brought. Looking back, she realized that the handbags, the shoes, and the designer clothes had never really been about impressing others. They had been a way to fill a void, a way to prove to herself that she was successful. But true success, she learned, wasn't about what she owned. It was about having the freedom to live life on her own terms. She didn't need to keep up with anyone. She didn't need a closet full of expensive things to feel worthy. What she needed was a future where she was financially free, where she didn't have to work just to pay for things she no longer cared about. And that future was within reach, not through shopping, but through making smarter choices with her money. Chapter 8. The Dope on Dopamine. Shopping feels good. There's an undeniable thrill when something new is bought. A designer bag, the latest phone, or even a simple cup of coffee from a favorite cafe. The excitement is immediate, the satisfaction strong, and for a moment, everything feels right. But why does this happen? Why do people feel such pleasure from spending money, even when they know they shouldn't? Deep inside the brain, a chemical called dopamine is at work. It is responsible for making people feel happy and motivated. It is also the reason why buying things feels rewarding. Marketers and businesses understand this well. They design stores, advertisements, and online platforms in a way that triggers dopamine and encourages people to spend. Sales, limited time offers, and even the way products are displayed are all carefully planned to make shoppers feel like they must buy something immediately. The moment an item is purchased, dopamine surges, giving a temporary high. But like any high, it fades and the brain craves another hit. This cycle keeps people spending money they don't need to. People often believe they are in control of their spending, but dopamine plays a much bigger role than they realize. The human brain evolved to seek rewards because in ancient times, rewards meant survival. Finding food, shelter, or a safe place triggered dopamine, reinforcing good decisions. But today, survival is not the main concern. Instead, the modern world is filled with artificial rewards, things that were designed to trigger dopamine without actually improving life in any meaningful way. Social media likes, fast food, video games, and online shopping all work on the same principle. They give quick bursts of pleasure, but leave people wanting more. Retailers understand how dopamine works and use it to their advantage. Shopping malls are designed to keep people inside longer, exposing them to more products and increasing the chances of making a purchase. Online stores track browsing history and show personalized recommendations, making it hard to resist temptation. Credit cards make spending feel painless because there is no immediate loss of money, and reward points create the illusion of getting something in return. Subscription services make payments automatic, so people don't even notice they are spending. Every one of these strategies is carefully crafted to keep consumers trapped in a dopamine-fueled spending loop. But spending money is not the only way to trigger dopamine. There are other, better ways to feel the same excitement without wasting money. One way is to shift the focus from buying things to achieving goals. When people accomplish something, learning a new skill, finishing a difficult task, or even just exercising, the brain releases dopamine. The satisfaction from these activities lasts longer than the fleeting happiness of a new purchase. Unlike shopping, these rewards build a better future instead of just emptying a bank account. Another way to take control is to recognize when dopamine is being manipulated. Before making a purchase, it helps to stop and ask, do I really need this? Or am I just chasing the excitement of buying something new? Waiting before buying can make a huge difference. Delaying a purchase for a day, a week, or even a month helps to break the cycle of impulsive spending. Often, the desire to buy disappears once the dopamine rush fades. Spending money on experiences instead of things also creates lasting happiness. Traveling, learning a new hobby, or spending time with loved ones provides a deeper sense of fulfillment. Unlike objects, which lose their novelty quickly, experiences create memories that continue to bring joy long after they are over. It is also important to create a budget that supports long-term happiness instead of short-term pleasure. Many people spend money without realizing where it goes. Tracking expenses makes it clear how much is being spent on unnecessary things. Once spending patterns are understood, adjustments can be made to prioritize things that truly add value to life. One of the biggest traps of dopamine-driven spending is lifestyle inflation. As income increases, many people start spending more, believing that a higher salary means they can afford a more luxurious lifestyle. But this only leads to more expenses and no real improvement in happiness. Instead of falling into this trap, it is better to keep expenses low and invest the extra money. Investing creates wealth over time and leads to financial freedom, which provides a much greater sense of security and happiness than any material object ever could. Chapter 9. Your house is not an investment. The idea that buying a house is always a smart investment is deeply ingrained in society. Many people believe that owning a home is the ultimate financial achievement, a sign that someone has made it. However, this belief does not always hold up when examined through a financial lens. The reality is that buying a house can be an expensive and risky decision, and in many cases, renting can be a smarter financial move. Understanding the true costs of homeownership, the risks involved, and the alternative ways to grow wealth is essential for making an informed decision. One of the biggest misconceptions is that a house automatically increases in value over time. While real estate prices have generally risen over long periods, they do not always go up consistently. Housing markets experience fluctuations based on various factors, including economic conditions, interest rates, and local demand. Many people assume that because their parents or grandparents bought homes that appreciated significantly, the same will happen for them. However, past performance does not guarantee future results. There have been times when home values have stagnated or even dropped dramatically, leaving homeowners with properties worth less than what they paid. The upfront costs of buying a house are also significant. A down payment alone can take years to save, and if it is less than 20% of the home's price, additional expenses such as private mortgage insurance, PMI, add to the cost. Beyond that, there are closing costs, property taxes, home insurance, and maintenance expenses, all of which add up quickly. Unlike renting, where a tenant pays a fixed amount each month and does not have to worry about repairs or unexpected costs, homeowners are responsible for all the financial burdens that come with maintaining a property. Roof repairs, plumbing issues, electrical problems, and general upkeep can be expensive and unpredictable, making homeownership more costly than anticipated. Many homeowners fail to consider the opportunity cost of buying a house. The money spent on a down payment and ongoing homeownership expenses could be invested in the stock market, which historically has provided higher returns. Over long periods, diversified stock investments often outperform real estate in terms of wealth accumulation. By investing in stocks, bonds, or other assets, individuals can achieve financial independence faster than if they put all their money into a house that does not generate income and has high costs associated with it. Another issue with homeownership is that it often encourages excessive spending. Many people buy homes that are more expensive than they can afford, assuming that their income will increase over time and make the payments easier. However, this assumption does not always hold true. Job markets change, economic downturns occur, and unexpected life events can make mortgage payments difficult to manage. People also tend to spend more on furniture, renovations, and decorations when they own a home, further increasing their expenses. Many financial experts suggest using the rent versus buy calculation to determine the smarter financial choice. This involves comparing the total cost of homeownership, including mortgage payments, property taxes, maintenance, and other expenses, with the cost of renting a similar property. If renting is significantly cheaper, it may make more sense to rent and invest the savings in other assets that provide better returns. Renting also provides the advantage of predictability. Renters know exactly how much they need to pay each month, whereas homeowners often face unexpected costs, such as rising property taxes, special assessments, or sudden repairs. In addition, renting allows people to invest their savings in diverse assets rather than putting all their money into one property. For those who do decide to buy a home, it is important to do so with a clear understanding of the financial implications. Instead of viewing a home as an investment, it should be seen as a lifestyle choice. If owning a home aligns with personal goals and financial circumstances, it may still be a reasonable decision. However, it is crucial to be aware of the long-term costs and potential risks before making such a significant financial commitment. In the end, financial independence is about making smart decisions with money. Homeownership is not a guaranteed path to wealth, and for many people, renting and investing in a diversified portfolio can lead to greater financial security. Chapter 10: The Real Bank Robbers. Banks have long positioned themselves as trustworthy institutions that safeguard people's money, provide loans, and help individuals grow their wealth. However, behind the polished customer service and reassuring advertisements, financial institutions employ a range of strategies that quietly extract money from their clients. These strategies are so deeply embedded in the financial system that most people do not even realize they're being taken advantage of. Understanding these tactics is essential for anyone who wants to protect their wealth and achieve financial independence. One of the most common ways banks maximize their profits at the expense of customers is through high-fee, actively managed mutual funds. These funds are often marketed as the best option for investors, with promises of expert financial managers making strategic decisions to maximize returns. Customers are led to believe that by paying for this professional expertise, they will see greater profits than they would if they managed their investments on their own. However, the truth is that these fees, while seemingly small, compound over time and eat away at potential returns. For example, consider an investor who puts $100,000 into a mutual fund that charges a 2% management fee each year. While 2% may seem insignificant, the long-term impact is substantial. If the market delivers an average return of 7% annually, but the investor only receives 5% after fees, their wealth grows at a significantly slower rate. Over a few decades, this difference results in hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost earnings. If that same investor had chosen a low-cost index fund with a 0.1% fee, they would retain far more of their returns and build significantly more wealth over time. Despite these facts, financial institutions continue to push high-fee funds onto their clients. The reason is simple. Actively managed mutual funds generate enormous profits for the banks that sell them. These funds allow banks to collect fees year after year, regardless of whether the fund performs well or poorly. Even in years when the market declines, investors still have to pay these fees, ensuring that the financial institution continues to profit while customers take on all the risk. One of the reasons people fall for these high-fee funds is the way banks present them. Financial advisors working at banks are often incentivized to sell these products, earning commissions or bonuses for every client they convince to invest. Because of this, they may not always act in the best interest of the customer. Instead of recommending the lowest cost, highest return options, they direct clients toward the products that bring in the most money for the bank. This conflict of interest is rarely disclosed, leaving customers unaware that they are not necessarily receiving the best financial advice. Another powerful tool banks use to take money from customers is the use of complex financial jargon. Financial institutions intentionally make their products difficult to understand, using technical terms that create an illusion of expertise. This complexity discourages customers from asking too many questions or challenging the recommendations of bank advisors. When investors do not fully understand how their money is being managed, they are more likely to accept high fees, hidden costs, and underperforming investments without questioning them. Many people assume that financial advisors at banks are required to act in their clients' best interests. However, this is often not the case. While fiduciary advisors are legally obligated to prioritize the needs of their clients, many bank-employed financial advisors operate under a lower standard known as the suitability standard. This means they only have to recommend investments that are suitable for a client's general situation, not necessarily the best possible option. As a result, they may still suggest high-fee products that benefit the bank more than the customer. Another method banks use to extract wealth from customers is the promotion of unnecessary financial products. Credit protection insurance, expensive extended warranties, and investment-linked insurance plans are all examples of products that are often unnecessary but generate substantial profits for financial institutions. Customers are frequently pressured into purchasing these products under the guise of security or protection, without fully understanding the costs or alternatives. For instance, credit protection insurance is often sold to borrowers with the claim that it will cover their loan payments in the event of unexpected circumstances like job loss or illness. While this sounds beneficial, these policies often come with high premiums, strict eligibility requirements, and numerous exclusions that make it difficult for policyholders to actually receive benefits. In many cases, simply building an emergency fund would provide better financial security without the ongoing cost of expensive insurance premiums. In addition to selling costly investment products and unnecessary financial services, banks also profit by encouraging customers to take on debt. Credit cards, personal loans, and mortgages are all major sources of income for financial institutions. Interest payments on these products ensure that banks continue to earn money long after a loan has been issued. While some forms of debt, such as mortgages, can be used strategically to build wealth, others, like high-interest credit card debt, can trap consumers in a cycle of financial dependence. One particularly deceptive practice involves offering customers a credit limit that exceeds what they actually need or can afford to repay. When individuals use more credit than they can handle, they end up paying significant amounts in interest. The minimum payment structure on credit cards is another way banks ensure they extract as much money as possible. By keeping the required minimum payments low, banks extend the repayment period, maximizing the interest collected from each customer. Someone making only the minimum payment on a large balance may end up paying 2 or 3 times the original amount borrowed due to accumulated interest. Mortgages also present opportunities for banks to increase their earnings at the expense of borrowers. One of the most common traps is the promotion of variable rate mortgages with initially low interest rates. While these loans may seem attractive at first, they carry the risk of rising interest rates in the future. When rates increase, homeowners can find themselves struggling to make higher payments, leading to financial stress or even foreclosure. Fixed-rate mortgages, which provide stability and predictability, are often a safer choice. Yet banks frequently push variable rate loans because they generate higher profits over time. Another subtle but powerful way banks take advantage of customers is through hidden fees. Monthly account maintenance fees, overdraft charges, ATM fees, wire transfer fees, and foreign transaction fees all add up over time. Many of these charges are designed to go unnoticed, appearing as small deductions on bank statements that customers rarely question. Over the course of a year or a lifetime, these fees can amount to thousands of dollars in unnecessary expenses. One particularly aggressive fee strategy involves overdraft protection programs. While these programs are marketed as a safety net to prevent declined transactions, they often result in costly fees. Instead of simply rejecting a purchase if an account lacks sufficient funds, banks will cover the transaction and charge an overdraft fee, which can be as high as $35 per occurrence. For individuals living paycheck to paycheck, this can create a cycle of debt where repeated overdrafts lead to mounting fees and financial instability. Understanding these tactics is the first step in avoiding them and making smarter financial decisions. One of the best ways to protect against high-fee investment products is to take control of investments by opting for low-cost index funds. These funds have consistently outperformed actively managed funds over the long term, and their low fees allow investors to keep more of their returns. Instead of relying on financial advisors who may have conflicts of interest, individuals can educate themselves about investing through independent research and reputable financial resources. To avoid unnecessary banking fees, it is important to carefully review account terms and conditions. Many banks offer fee-free checking and savings accounts, but they often require customers to meet certain criteria, such as maintaining a minimum balance or setting up direct deposits. Switching to an online bank with lower fees can also be a smart move, as digital banks often have lower overhead costs and pass the savings on to their customers. Chapter 11. How to survive a stock market crash. Market downturns are an inevitable part of investing, and understanding how to navigate these turbulent periods is essential for long-term financial success. The stock market is inherently volatile, experiencing both highs and lows, but history has shown that those who stay the course tend to benefit in the long run. The key to surviving a stock market crash lies in adopting a strategic approach that minimizes risk, ensures financial stability, and allows for continued growth even in difficult times. One of the most effective ways to protect investments during market downturns is to avoid individual stock picking. Investing in individual stocks can be highly risky because no one can predict with certainty how a single company will perform. Some investors may make short-term gains, but many end up losing money due to unexpected market shifts, poor earnings reports, or sudden economic downturns. Instead of putting all money into a few individual stocks, a more stable and reliable approach is index investing. Index funds track the performance of a broad market index, such as the S&P 500, which includes hundreds of companies across different sectors. This diversification reduces the risk associated with betting on a single company. Furthermore, index funds come with lower management fees, ensuring that investors keep more of their returns over time. By investing in an index fund, an investor benefits from the overall growth of the market without worrying about the fate of individual companies. Another crucial step in surviving a stock market crash is maintaining a diversified portfolio. Diversification means spreading investments across various asset classes, including stocks, bonds, and cash equivalents. This strategy ensures that when one part of the market declines, another part may remain stable or even grow. Bonds, for example, tend to perform well during economic downturns, offering a buffer against stock market losses. Cash reserves provide liquidity and financial security, preventing the need to sell investments at a loss during a downturn. Diversification is supported by modern portfolio theory, which highlights the importance of balancing expected returns against volatility. A well-diversified portfolio helps investors navigate market turbulence while still achieving steady financial growth. A long-term investment perspective is also essential when dealing with stock market downturns. Short-term market fluctuations are a normal part of investing, and selling investments in response to temporary declines often leads to losses. History has repeatedly shown that markets recover from downturns and continue to grow over time. For example, the global financial crisis of 2008 saw massive declines in stock prices, but those who held on to their investments experienced significant gains in the following years. Similarly, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Stock markets suffered a sharp drop in early 2020, but they rebounded quickly as economies adapted to new conditions. Investors who remained patient and avoided panic selling benefited from the recovery. The key takeaway is that short-term declines should not dictate long-term investment decisions. Remaining invested and continuing to contribute to a portfolio, even during downturns, allows investors to buy shares at lower prices and benefit from market recoveries. Another effective way to protect finances during a market crash is by focusing on income-generating investments. This strategy, sometimes called the yield shield, involves investing in assets that provide consistent income, such as dividend-paying stocks and bonds. Even during market downturns, many established companies continue to pay dividends, providing investors with a steady stream of income. Bonds also generate interest payments, offering financial stability when stock prices fluctuate. Having reliable income sources means investors do not need to sell investments at a loss to cover expenses, allowing them to wait for the market to recover. Successfully navigating stock market crashes requires strategic planning and emotional resilience. Avoiding individual stock picking, investing in diversified index funds, maintaining a long-term perspective, and focusing on income-generating assets all contribute to financial security during uncertain times. While market downturns can be stressful, they're a natural part of the investment journey. By staying disciplined and following these principles, investors can weather economic downturns and continue progressing toward their financial goals. Chapter 12. Taxes are for poor people. Taxes play a major role in how much wealth someone can build over time. While taxes are necessary for funding public services, they can also slow down financial growth if not managed properly. Many wealthy individuals and corporations use legal strategies to minimize their tax burden, and understanding these methods can help anyone reach financial independence faster. One of the best ways to reduce taxes is by using tax-advantaged accounts. These accounts allow money to grow with little or no tax liability, depending on the type of account. For example, tax-deferred accounts like 401(k), and traditional IRAs let people contribute pre-tax income, which reduces taxable income in the year the contribution is made. The money inside these accounts then grows tax-free until retirement, at which point taxes are paid upon withdrawal. This is beneficial because by retirement, many people fall into a lower tax bracket, meaning they pay less tax overall. On the other hand, there are tax-free growth accounts like Roth IRAs and tax-free savings accounts, TFSAs. Contributions to these accounts are made with after-tax income, meaning there is no immediate tax benefit. However, the advantage is that the money grows tax-free and can be withdrawn without any tax liability in retirement. This gives people more flexibility in managing their taxable income later in life. Beyond retirement accounts, another strategy for minimizing taxes is structuring an investment portfolio wisely. Investments are taxed in different ways depending on the type of income they generate. For example, wages and salaries are taxed as ordinary income, which often has high tax rates. However, qualified dividends and long-term capital gains are taxed at much lower rates. By focusing on investments that provide these types of income, individuals can legally reduce how much tax they owe. Additionally, holding investments for more than a year ensures they are taxed as long-term capital gains rather than short-term gains, which are taxed at the higher ordinary income rate. There are also legal tax loopholes that many wealthy individuals use. One well-known example is the backdoor Roth IRA. This strategy is used by high-income earners who exceed the income limits for contributing directly to a Roth IRA. Instead, they first contribute to a traditional IRA, then immediately convert it to a Roth IRA. Because there are no income limits on conversions, this allows them to take advantage of tax-free growth without violating income restrictions. Another example is tax loss harvesting. This involves selling investments that have lost value to offset gains from other investments. By doing this, investors can lower their taxable income and even carry over excess losses to future years. This is a strategy often used by the wealthy to reduce tax payments while keeping their investment portfolio strong. Additionally, Many high net worth individuals structure their income in ways that reduce taxable earnings. For example, rather than taking a large salary, which is subject to high income tax rates, business owners often pay themselves in dividends, which are taxed at lower rates. Entrepreneurs may also reinvest profits back into their businesses to delay tax payments while growing their wealth. There are also specific programs that can help reduce tax liabilities, such as the Public Service Loan Forgiveness (PSLF) program. This allows qualifying workers in public service jobs to have their student loans forgiven after making 120 payments. Since the forgiven amount is not considered taxable income, it provides significant financial relief for those eligible. Tax laws change frequently, and staying informed is key to maximizing tax benefits. Consulting with a tax professional can help ensure compliance while taking advantage of all available deductions, credits, and strategies. By being proactive and structuring finances intelligently, individuals can significantly reduce their tax burden, keep more of their earnings, and accelerate their journey toward financial independence. Chapter 13. Never pay taxes again. Minimizing tax obligations legally is one of the most important strategies for achieving financial independence. Many high-income earners use various methods to reduce their tax burden, but these same techniques can be applied by anyone willing to understand and implement them effectively. By using tax-advantaged accounts, strategically managing investments, and taking advantage of geographic arbitrage, it is possible to significantly reduce or even eliminate tax payments while growing wealth over time. One of the most effective ways to minimize taxes is by using tax-advantaged accounts, such as 401(k)s, traditional IRAs, and Roth IRAs. Contributions to a 401(k) or traditional IRA are tax-deferred, meaning that the money is not taxed when it is earned, but rather when it is withdrawn during retirement. This allows investments to grow tax-free, significantly increasing long-term gains. Since withdrawals in retirement are often taxed at a lower rate than income during working years, this strategy helps reduce overall tax liability. On the other hand, a Roth IRA works differently, but is equally beneficial. Contributions to a Roth IRA are made with after-tax dollars, but the advantage is that all withdrawals, including investment gains, are tax-free in retirement. This is particularly useful for those who expect to be in a higher tax bracket later in life. The ability to withdraw money without paying taxes can be a powerful tool in reducing overall tax payments and securing financial independence. Another valuable tax-saving tool is the Health Savings Account, HSA. This type of account offers three distinct tax benefits. Contributions are tax-deductible, investments grow tax-free, and withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are also tax-free. This makes it one of the most tax-efficient accounts available. Furthermore, after reaching a certain age, withdrawals for non-medical expenses are treated similarly to a traditional IRA, meaning they are taxed at regular income tax rates. This flexibility makes an HSA not just a healthcare savings tool, but also a strategic retirement investment vehicle. Beyond tax-advantaged accounts, understanding how different types of investment income are taxed is crucial. The U.S. tax system treats ordinary income, dividends, and capital gains differently. Ordinary income, such as wages and salaries, is taxed at a higher rate, whereas qualified dividends and long-term capital gains are taxed at lower rates. Holding investments for at least a year before selling them allows gains to be classified as long-term capital gains, which are subject to lower tax rates. This simple strategy can significantly reduce tax liability for investors. For those relying on investment income to support their lifestyle, structuring a portfolio in a tax-efficient manner is essential. By prioritizing investments that generate qualified dividends and long-term capital gains, it is possible to maintain a lower tax rate. This approach allows wealth to grow while minimizing the amount of money paid to the government. Additionally, making use of tax loss harvesting, selling underperforming investments to offset gains, can further reduce taxable income. Another important strategy is geographic arbitrage, which involves moving to locations with lower living costs and favorable tax laws. Some states in the U.S. have no income tax, meaning individuals can retain a larger portion of their earnings. Similarly, living in a country with lower taxes can be an option for those with location-independent incomes. Digital nomads and retirees often take advantage of this strategy by settling in tax-friendly jurisdictions, reducing their overall tax burden while maintaining a high quality of life. It is important to remember that while these strategies are completely legal, they require careful planning and adherence to tax laws. Tax rules can change, and understanding current regulations is crucial to ensuring compliance. Seeking professional financial advice can help tailor strategies to individual needs, making it easier to achieve long-term financial goals without unnecessary tax burdens. By implementing these methods, individuals can significantly reduce their taxes, retain more of their earnings, and accelerate their journey to financial independence. With the right approach, it is possible to build substantial wealth while legally minimizing or even eliminating tax payments, ensuring a secure financial future. Chapter 14. The Magical Number That Saved Me. Financial independence is often seen as an unattainable goal, something reserved for the wealthy or those with high-paying jobs. However, the reality is that achieving financial freedom is less about income and more about understanding the exact amount of money required to sustain one's lifestyle without needing to work. This specific number, often called the financial independence number, is the key to determining when one has enough money to retire safely without running out of funds. The foundation for calculating this number is based on the 4% rule, which comes from a well-known study called the Trinity study. This research analyzed historical market data and found that if a person withdraws 4% of their investment portfolio each year, adjusted for inflation, they have a high probability, around 95%, of making their savings last for at least 30 years. This rule provides a simple way to estimate how much money is needed for retirement. By multiplying annual living expenses by 25, which is the inverse of 4%, one can determine their total required savings. For example, if someone spends $40,000 per year, they would need $1 million saved to retire comfortably using the 4% rule. If their yearly expenses are lower, say $30,000, they would need only $750,000. Conversely, if they live a more expensive lifestyle and spend $100,000 per year, they would require $2.5 million. This formula gives a clear, quantifiable target, allowing individuals to plan their financial future with confidence. This approach changes the traditional view of retirement. Many people assume they must work until they're 65, relying on pensions or government benefits. However, the 4% rule shifts the focus from age to financial preparedness. Retirement is no longer about reaching a certain age. It's about reaching the necessary savings target. This realization can be life-changing because it allows people to take control of their financial future rather than waiting for external factors to dictate when they can retire. To achieve this number, consistent saving and smart investing are essential. Simply earning money is not enough. One must prioritize saving a significant portion of their income and invest it wisely. Instead of leaving money in a low-interest savings account, putting it into diversified, low-cost index funds allows for long-term growth through compound interest. The earlier one starts investing, the more time their money has to grow. For instance, someone who saves and invests $1,000 per month starting at age 25 will accumulate significantly more wealth by age 50 than someone who starts at age 40. In addition to investing, controlling expenses plays a huge role in reaching financial independence faster. Lowering annual expenses not only reduces the amount needed to retire, but also increases the amount that can be saved and invested. For example, if someone who originally needed $1 million to retire reduces their expenses by $10,000 per year, their new target drops to $750,000. This means they can retire much sooner than originally planned. Knowing the financial independence number also provides freedom in decision-making. Many people feel trapped in jobs they dislike because they believe they have no choice but to keep working. However, once they reach their number, They can choose to leave jobs that no longer serve them, take extended breaks, or pursue work they are truly passionate about. Some may choose to continue working in a reduced capacity, knowing that they are doing so by choice rather than necessity. Others may shift to part-time work, freelancing, or volunteer opportunities. This approach to retirement planning turns what is often seen as a vague or distant goal into a clear, actionable plan. Instead of waiting for an employer to dictate when retirement is possible, individuals can take control of their financial future. Understanding the financial independence number and following a disciplined approach to saving and investing makes early retirement not just a dream, but a realistic and achievable goal. Chapter 15: The Cash Cushion and the Yield Shield. Achieving financial independence and retiring early is not just about saving money. It's also about managing investments wisely to ensure that wealth lasts a lifetime. A crucial aspect of this process is protecting investments from market downturns, so they continue to provide financial security even in uncertain times. Two key strategies help safeguard a retirement portfolio: the cash cushion and the yield shield. These methods allow for a steady flow of income while avoiding the risk of selling investments at a loss when markets decline. A cash cushion is a reserve of liquid money set aside to cover a retiree's living expenses for a specific period, usually between 2 to 5 years. This cushion acts as a financial buffer, allowing individuals to withdraw cash when stock markets are down instead of selling investments at a reduced value. The importance of this approach becomes clear during market crashes when investment values drop significantly. If a retiree is forced to sell stocks to cover daily expenses during a downturn, they may lock in losses and permanently reduce the value of their portfolio. However, with a cash cushion in place, withdrawals can come from these reserves, giving investments time to recover. To build a cash cushion, funds should be placed in safe, low-risk accounts that are easily accessible, such as high-yield savings accounts, money market accounts, or short-term certificates of deposit, CDs. These options provide liquidity and preserve capital while generating some interest income. The amount kept in a cash cushion depends on individual preferences, spending needs, and risk tolerance. A more conservative approach involves holding enough cash to cover at least 5 years of expenses, while a riskier approach might maintain just 2 years' worth of cash. The key is finding a balance that offers financial security without holding too much money in low-yield accounts, which could otherwise be earning higher returns if invested. The yield shield is another essential strategy that focuses on generating income through investments that pay dividends or interest. This approach reduces the need to sell assets for daily living expenses, allowing the principal investment to grow over time. Dividend-paying stocks, bonds, and real estate investment trusts, REITs, are some of the most effective tools in building a yield shield. Dividend-paying stocks provide regular payouts to investors, offering a steady income stream. Companies that consistently pay dividends, particularly those classified as dividend aristocrats or dividend kings, tend to have strong financial stability. These stocks can generate reliable income even during market downturns, helping retirees meet their financial needs without selling shares. Bonds are another component of the yield shield strategy. Unlike stocks, bonds provide fixed interest payments, making them a dependable source of income. Government bonds, municipal bonds, and corporate bonds each offer varying levels of risk and return. Government bonds, such as U.S. Treasury bonds, are considered the safest but offer lower yields. Corporate bonds, particularly those issued by stable companies, provide higher interest rates but come with slightly more risk. By diversifying bond investments, retirees can create a steady and predictable income stream. Real estate investment trusts, REITs, add another layer to the yield shield by offering regular dividends from properties, such as commercial buildings, apartments, and shopping centers. REITs provide exposure to real estate without requiring direct property management, making them an attractive option for retirees. These investments generate income through rent collection and often increase in value over time, offering both growth and stability. Combining the cash cushion and yield shield strategies creates a financial system that minimizes risk while maintaining a consistent income flow. By having a cash reserve, retirees can avoid selling investments during market downturns, and by using income-generating assets, they can support their expenses without depleting their principal investment. Thoughtful planning and asset allocation ensure a stable financial future, allowing individuals to enjoy their retirement without financial stress. Chapter 16. Getting paid to travel. Traveling does not have to be expensive, and in fact, it can be a tool for financial independence when approached strategically. By understanding how to minimize expenses and even get paid while traveling, it is possible to see the world without depleting financial resources. One of the most effective ways to do this is by using geo-arbitrage. This concept involves moving to places where the cost of living is significantly lower than in one's home country. Many countries in Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, and Latin America offer high-quality living standards at a fraction of the cost. By relocating to these areas, expenses like rent, food, and transportation become more affordable, allowing money to last longer while still enjoying a comfortable lifestyle. Another way to make travel more affordable is through travel hacking. This involves taking advantage of credit card rewards, frequent flyer miles, and loyalty programs to significantly cut costs. Many credit cards offer sign-up bonuses that provide enough points for free flights or hotel stays. By strategically using these cards for everyday expenses and paying off balances in full each month, it is possible to accumulate rewards without going into debt. Additionally, airlines and hotel chains often have loyalty programs that provide perks such as free upgrades, lounge access, and discounted rates, which can further reduce travel costs. Flexibility in travel plans is another key factor in saving money. Flights and accommodations are often much cheaper during off-peak seasons. Avoiding major holidays and peak tourist months can result in significant savings on airfare and lodging. Additionally, last-minute deals can provide unexpected opportunities to visit new destinations at a fraction of the usual cost. Being open to different travel dates and destinations allows for greater flexibility in finding the best deals available. For those looking to sustain their travels financially, working remotely is an excellent option. Many jobs can be done from anywhere with an internet connection, including freelance writing, graphic design, consulting, and software development. Online platforms offer opportunities to find clients and projects that can generate income while traveling. Additionally, teaching English online is a popular way to earn money while living abroad. Many companies hire native English speakers to teach students remotely, providing a steady income without the need for a fixed location. House sitting and home exchange programs are other great ways to eliminate accommodation expenses. House sitting involves taking care of someone's home while they are away, often in exchange for free lodging. This can include basic tasks like watering plants, feeding pets, and keeping the house in good condition. Many websites connect travelers with homeowners looking for reliable house sitters. Similarly, home exchange programs allow people to swap homes with others in different countries, providing free accommodation while experiencing a new destination like a local. Using local cost-saving techniques can also make travel more affordable. Instead of relying on taxis or rental cars, using public transportation can significantly reduce costs. Many cities have well-developed metro, bus, and train systems that are not only cheaper, but also provide a more authentic travel experience. Shopping at local markets and eating at restaurants where locals dine can also save money. Tourist-heavy areas often have inflated prices, while smaller, family-run eateries offer delicious meals at much lower prices. By combining these strategies, traveling becomes not just a leisure activity, but a financially sustainable lifestyle. Whether by working remotely, leveraging credit card rewards, or choosing destinations with a lower cost of living, it is entirely possible to travel the world without financial strain. Through careful planning and smart decision-making, travel can become an enriching part of life while maintaining financial security. Chapter 17. Buckets and Backups. Achieving financial independence requires a well-structured approach to managing money, ensuring both stability and long-term growth. One highly effective strategy is the bucket system, which helps distribute wealth in a way that balances immediate financial security with future financial growth. This system consists of three key components, each serving a distinct purpose to create a financial safety net that allows one to handle both everyday expenses and unexpected challenges. The first bucket is a cash reserve that serves as a buffer for immediate financial needs. This fund is designed to cover daily living expenses, bills, and emergencies for a specific period, usually 6 months to a year. The purpose of this reserve is to prevent the need to sell investments when markets are down or during unforeseen financial hardships. Without this readily available cash, one may be forced to liquidate long-term investments at an unfavorable time, potentially incurring losses. Keeping enough cash to cover a year's expenses ensures peace of mind, allowing focus on long-term financial goals without worrying about short-term cash flow problems. The second bucket consists of income-generating investments, which act as an ongoing source of funds. This includes assets such as bonds, dividend-paying stocks, or rental properties, all of which provide consistent cash flow. The income generated from these investments can supplement the cash reserve, ensuring there is always money available for living expenses. The key advantage of this bucket is that it allows for a steady stream of passive income, reducing the need to rely solely on savings. By strategically investing in assets that provide stable returns, financial security can be maintained without depleting the principal investment. The third bucket focuses on long-term financial growth and consists of investments with high potential for appreciation over time. These assets typically include stocks, real estate, and other investments with a higher risk but greater potential for returns. While the value of these investments may fluctuate in the short term, they play a crucial role in outpacing inflation and increasing wealth over time. Since these investments are meant to grow over a long period, they are not intended for short-term expenses. Instead, they ensure that financial resources continue to expand, providing greater financial security in the future. Implementing the bucket system requires careful planning, ongoing monitoring, and regular reassessment. It is important to periodically review the allocation of funds in each bucket to ensure they align with changing financial goals and market conditions. If circumstances shift, adjustments may be necessary to maintain a balanced financial plan. The key to making the system work effectively is maintaining discipline and ensuring each bucket is properly funded without compromising long-term growth for shorter needs. Beyond the bucket system, having strong financial backup plans is essential. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances such as job loss, economic downturns, or medical emergencies can impact financial stability. Having multiple income streams, such as freelance work, side businesses, or investments in different sectors, can provide an additional layer of financial security. Diversifying income sources ensures that if one stream is affected, others can continue to provide financial support. Another crucial backup strategy is maintaining and continuously improving valuable skills. In an ever-changing job market, having skills that are in high demand increases financial security. If necessary, individuals can shift careers or take on new roles that provide financial stability. Investing in self-education, professional development, and staying informed about financial trends are all critical steps to maintaining a secure financial future. By structuring finances using the bucket system and preparing for unexpected situations with strong backup plans, financial independence becomes much more achievable. This approach not only provides immediate security, but also ensures long-term financial stability, allowing individuals to enjoy a comfortable and worry-free life without the fear of financial instability. Chapter 18: Inflation, Insurance, and Healthcare. Inflation, insurance, and healthcare costs are often seen as financial hurdles that can disrupt even the most well-planned journey to financial independence. However, understanding how to navigate these challenges can ensure long-term financial security and stability. By making informed decisions and implementing strategic approaches, it is possible to mitigate their impact and safeguard financial well-being. Inflation is an inevitable economic force that slowly erodes the purchasing power of money. Over time, goods and services become more expensive, making it necessary to plan ahead so that financial resources do not lose value. While inflation typically averages around 2 to 3% annually, it can sometimes rise unexpectedly, impacting long-term savings and investments. To counteract inflation, investing in assets that have historically outperformed inflation is crucial. Stocks, for example, offer higher returns over the long term compared to traditional savings accounts, helping money grow faster than inflation. Real estate is another effective hedge against inflation, as property values and rental income tend to rise over time. Diversification is key. Spreading investments across different asset classes and geographical regions can help reduce risk and increase returns. Another important strategy is periodically adjusting investment portfolios to align with changing economic conditions. This means reviewing asset allocations, reinvesting in high-growth sectors, and ensuring that investments continue to generate positive returns even during periods of economic downturn. A well-structured financial plan accounts for inflation and ensures that money retains its value over the years. Insurance plays a critical role in protecting against unexpected financial burdens. Without proper coverage, a single emergency can lead to significant financial setbacks. Understanding the different types of insurance available and selecting appropriate coverage is essential. Health insurance is one of the most important types of coverage, as medical expenses can be a major financial drain. A comprehensive health insurance policy ensures access to necessary medical care without depleting savings. Choosing a plan with a high deductible can help lower monthly premiums while still providing coverage for major health expenses. Life insurance is another key component, particularly for those with dependents. It ensures that loved ones are financially supported in case of an unexpected death. While term life insurance is generally more affordable and sufficient for most people, permanent life insurance may be an option for those looking for additional benefits. Disability insurance is often overlooked, but is essential for protecting income in case of an illness or injury that prevents one from working. Without it, a sudden inability to earn an income can lead to financial distress. Employers often offer disability coverage, but private policies can be purchased for additional security. Reviewing insurance policies regularly is important to ensure that coverage remains adequate and up-to-date. Life circumstances change, and policies should be adjusted accordingly to provide the right level of protection without unnecessary costs. Healthcare expenses are a major concern, especially for those who leave traditional employment and no longer have employer-sponsored insurance. However, there are several ways to manage healthcare costs effectively. A health savings account, HSA, is a valuable tool for covering medical expenses. Contributions to an HSA are tax-deductible, and the money grows tax-free if used for qualified medical expenses. Investing HSA funds can lead to long-term growth, creating a financial cushion for future healthcare needs. Preventive care is another crucial aspect of cost management. Regular checkups, a healthy diet, and an active lifestyle can help prevent major health issues, reducing the need for expensive medical treatments. Taking proactive steps toward wellness can lead to lower long-term healthcare costs. For those facing high medical expenses, medical tourism is an option. In many countries, high-quality medical care is available at a fraction of the cost compared to the United States. Researching reputable healthcare providers abroad and comparing treatment costs can result in significant savings, even after accounting for travel expenses. Negotiating medical bills is also an effective way to lower healthcare costs. Many healthcare providers offer discounts for cash payments or are willing to arrange payment plans. Discussing financial options with medical providers can help reduce. Chapter 19. What about kids? Raising children while pursuing financial independence is often seen as a major challenge, but with the right approach, it can be done without compromising on quality of life. The idea that children are incredibly expensive is widely accepted, but a closer examination shows that many of the costs are optional. Smart financial planning, strategic decision-making, and prioritization help ensure that having kids does not derail financial goals. One of the biggest misconceptions is that raising children requires excessive spending on brand new clothes, the latest toys, and expensive educational programs. However, children grow quickly, and many of these purchases become unnecessary after a short period. Instead of buying everything new, parents can save a significant amount by shopping secondhand. Thrift stores, online marketplaces, and even local community exchanges offer gently used clothes, toys, and baby gear at a fraction of the original price. This not only reduces expenses, but also teaches children the value of resourcefulness and sustainability. Parents who take this approach often find that their children are just as happy with secondhand items as they would be with brand new ones. Education is another area where costs can be controlled without sacrificing quality. Many people believe that the best education comes with a high price tag, whether through private schools, expensive tutoring, or enrichment programs. However, public schools in many regions provide excellent education and free or low-cost educational resources, including online courses, libraries, and community programs, can supplement learning. Parents who actively participate in their children's education by engaging with their teachers, encouraging independent learning, and making use of free resources can provide a high-quality education without breaking the bank. Additionally, scholarships, grants, and community programs can help cover educational costs if needed. Extracurricular activities are often seen as essential for a child's development, but they do not need to be expensive. Many parents feel pressured to enroll their children in multiple activities, such as music lessons, sports teams, and specialized classes, believing that these are necessary for success. However, free or low-cost alternatives, such as community programs, school-sponsored activities, or even home-based learning, can provide similar benefits. Prioritizing activities based on a child's genuine interests, rather than enrolling in everything out of fear of missing out, allows families to save money while still ensuring their children have enriching experiences. One of the most valuable lessons parents can teach their children is financial literacy. Many people reach adulthood without basic financial knowledge, leading to poor money management and financial stress. Introducing children to concepts like saving, budgeting, and investing from an early age prepares them to make responsible financial decisions later in life. Simple practices, such as giving children an allowance, encouraging them to save for their own purchases, and involving them in family budgeting discussions help instill these skills. By modeling responsible financial behavior, parents set an example that children are likely to follow when they grow up. Another way to make child-rearing more affordable is through geographic arbitrage. Living in a high-cost area means that housing, education, and childcare expenses are much higher than in lower-cost regions. By relocating to a more affordable area, families can significantly reduce their expenses while maintaining the same or even a better standard of living. This strategy is particularly useful for those pursuing financial independence, as lower living costs allow them to save and invest more efficiently. Even within the same country, moving to a different city or suburb can lead to major cost reductions in housing, food, and general expenses. Healthcare is often a major concern for parents, but with proper planning, costs can be managed. Many employers provide health insurance that covers dependents, and in some cases, public healthcare options can offer affordable medical care. Preventive care, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and making informed decisions about medical expenses can reduce long-term healthcare costs. Parents who research their healthcare options and take advantage of available resources can avoid unnecessary financial strain. Chapter 20. The Dark Side of Early Retirement. Early retirement is often seen as the ultimate financial goal, a life free from the daily grind, with the ability to travel, explore hobbies, and spend more time with loved ones. However, the transition is not always smooth, and many people find themselves facing unexpected challenges that can make early retirement more difficult than anticipated. One of the most significant obstacles is the loss of identity and purpose. Throughout life, work provides structure, routine, and a clear sense of contribution to society. Many people define themselves by their careers, whether as engineers, teachers, or business owners. The moment they retire, that title disappears, and along with it, the validation, respect, and sense of achievement that came with the job. This can lead to feelings of aimlessness and even depression. Without a clear purpose, days can start to feel empty, leading some retirees to regret their decision. Another challenge is the shift in social dynamics. Workplaces provide built-in social circles where colleagues interact daily, share experiences, and form friendships. Once a person leaves the workforce, these relationships may fade, especially if former colleagues are still working and busy with their own lives. The sudden drop in social interactions can lead to loneliness and isolation, particularly for those who haven't built a strong social network outside of work. To counteract this, it is essential to cultivate new friendships, participate in social activities, and engage in community events that provide interaction and engagement. Financial concerns also remain a potential problem, even for those who have planned carefully. While early retirees often have investments and savings to sustain their lifestyle, the unpredictability of the stock market, inflation, and unexpected expenses can create financial stress. Some people underestimate how long their retirement will last and do not adjust their spending accordingly. Market downturns can deplete savings faster than anticipated, leading to anxiety about running out of money. A well-structured financial plan should include flexibility, allowing retirees to adapt to changing circumstances, reduce unnecessary expenses, and consider part-time work if needed. Healthcare is another major consideration. Many employers provide health insurance, but once a person retires early, they are responsible for securing their own coverage. In countries without universal healthcare, medical expenses can become a heavy financial burden, especially as people age and require more medical attention. Unexpected medical conditions can quickly deplete savings, making it critical to have a solid healthcare plan in place before retiring. Researching different insurance options and setting aside funds for medical emergencies can help mitigate this risk. To overcome these challenges, retirees should proactively build a fulfilling lifestyle before leaving work. Pursuing hobbies, learning new skills, and engaging in meaningful activities can provide a sense of purpose. Volunteering, teaching, or starting a small business can offer both mental stimulation and social connections. Some retirees choose to work part-time, not for financial reasons, but to maintain a routine and a sense of accomplishment. This approach can ease the transition and provide the best of both worlds: more freedom while still staying engaged with productive work. Social engagement should also be a priority. Instead of relying on workplace friendships, retirees can seek new social groups through clubs, sports, or cultural activities. Joining local organizations, attending social events, and staying in touch with former colleagues can help maintain a sense of belonging. Ultimately, early retirement is not just about financial independence. It's about creating a balanced and fulfilling life. While leaving the workforce early has many advantages, it also requires careful preparation beyond financial planning. Those who take the time to build a meaningful post-retirement routine, maintain social connections, and ensure financial and healthcare security are more likely to thrive and enjoy the benefits of their hard-earned freedom. Chapter 21. You don't need $1 million to break free. Achieving financial independence does not require $1 million fortune. The key is understanding the relationship between income and expenses, making smart financial choices, and ensuring that passive income covers basic needs. The misconception that only millionaires can retire early often prevents people from realizing that financial freedom is accessible at a much lower threshold. The first and most crucial step is to analyze personal expenses. Many people assume they need a large sum to quit working, but in reality, expenses determine the required financial goal. If spending is controlled, the amount needed for financial independence reduces significantly. Tracking every dollar spent helps in identifying unnecessary expenses. Once those are removed, the cost of living decreases, reducing the amount required for passive income. Investing is another major factor in reaching financial independence. Instead of relying solely on savings, which depreciate due to inflation, placing money into well-structured investments generates returns. The best strategy is to invest in low-cost index funds, which historically provide consistent long-term growth. Unlike actively managed investments, Index funds require minimal effort but offer strong returns over time. The key is to let investments grow while withdrawing only what is needed. This ensures that the portfolio continues to generate income rather than depleting entirely. Another overlooked approach is geo-arbitrage. Living in high-cost areas requires a higher income to maintain the same standard of living. However, moving to a lower-cost location allows expenses to drop significantly while maintaining a comfortable lifestyle. Many people in high-income countries choose to relocate to countries with a lower cost of living where their money stretches further. This can include moving within the same country to more affordable cities, or even internationally to places where expenses are half of what they would be otherwise. With passive income, the difference in cost can mean financial independence years earlier than expected. Many people mistakenly believe that working longer and earning more is the only way to financial security. However, making more money does not automatically translate to wealth if expenses rise alongside income. People who earn high salaries but spend excessively remain financially trapped. On the other hand, those with lower incomes but controlled expenses can achieve independence much faster. It is not about how much money is made, but about how efficiently money is used. Housing is often the biggest expense, and many consider homeownership a guaranteed investment. However, a house is not always the best financial choice. Between property taxes, maintenance, and fluctuating market values, buying a home can be a financial burden rather than a benefit. Renting or choosing a smaller, more affordable home can be a better decision for financial independence. The money saved can instead be invested, growing over time rather than being locked into a non-liquid asset. The tax system also plays a role in financial independence. People assume taxes are unavoidable, but many strategies legally minimize tax liabilities. Tax-advantaged investment accounts, such as retirement funds, allow money to grow tax-free or tax-deferred, depending on the account type. By maximizing these benefits, money compounds faster, reducing the time required to reach financial freedom. Another essential strategy is the concept of the financial independence number. This is the amount required for investments to generate enough passive income to cover expenses. The traditional idea is that withdrawing 4% per year from an investment portfolio allows sustainable long-term withdrawals. If yearly expenses are $40,000, then an investment portfolio of $1 million is needed. However, if expenses are lowered to $25,000, the required portfolio shrinks to $625,000. The lower the expenses, the faster financial independence is reached. Many fear financial instability after quitting their jobs, but having multiple income streams ensures security. Some passive income comes from investments, but additional income sources such as freelancing, rental income, or small businesses can provide extra security. With different revenue sources, financial independence becomes less risky, and there is always an option to supplement income if needed. Chapter 22. Go Your Own Way. The journey to financial independence is deeply personal, and no single strategy fits everyone. Each individual has unique circumstances, backgrounds, and aspirations that shape their financial path. While the foundational principles of saving, investing, and spending wisely remain consistent, their application must be tailored to fit one's specific situation. The key to long-term financial success lies in understanding personal motivations, maintaining flexibility, and continuously adapting to life's changes. A crucial first step in this journey is self-awareness. Understanding one's financial habits, strengths, and weaknesses is essential to creating a realistic plan. Many people unknowingly fall into spending patterns influenced by societal expectations, peer pressure, or emotional triggers. By assessing where money is going and identifying areas for improvement, it becomes easier to prioritize financial goals. This self-awareness also helps in making informed decisions about lifestyle choices, career paths, and long-term aspirations. Flexibility is another essential element of financial independence. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected events, such as job losses, health crises, or family obligations, can derail even the most well-structured financial plans. Having the ability to pivot and adjust is critical. A rigid plan that does not allow for change can cause unnecessary stress and limit opportunities. Diversifying income sources, maintaining an emergency fund, and regularly reviewing financial plans can help build resilience against unforeseen challenges. Community and support systems play a significant role in staying motivated on the journey to financial freedom. Surrounding oneself with like-minded individuals, whether through online forums, local meetups, or financial independence groups, can provide encouragement, practical advice, and valuable insights. Learning from others who have successfully navigated similar paths can offer inspiration and guidance. It also helps in avoiding common pitfalls and staying accountable to one's financial goals. Beyond just accumulating wealth, financial independence is about aligning money with life's purpose. Simply reaching a monetary milestone does not guarantee happiness or fulfillment. It is essential to identify what truly brings joy and meaning. For some, this may mean traveling the world, starting a passion project, or dedicating time to a cause they care about. By structuring financial plans around these personal values, life becomes more purposeful and rewarding. Continuous learning is another critical factor in financial independence. Economic trends, investment strategies, and financial tools evolve over time. Staying informed and adaptable ensures that one can take advantage of new opportunities and avoid outdated strategies that may no longer be effective. Reading books, following financial news, attending seminars, and engaging with knowledgeable individuals can help maintain a well-rounded understanding of money management. The final lesson is taking ownership of financial decisions. No one else can create a better financial future than the individual themselves. While external advice and resources can provide guidance, ultimate responsibility lies with the person making the decisions. This means setting clear goals, tracking progress, and making necessary adjustments along the way. By taking control and staying proactive, financial independence becomes a reality rather than a distant dream. The path to financial freedom is not about blindly following someone else's blueprint. It is about understanding fundamental principles, applying them in a way that suits individual needs, and staying adaptable. Success comes from making conscious, well-informed choices and aligning financial strategies with personal aspirations. By taking the right steps and staying committed, anyone can achieve financial independence and create a life that reflects their true values and goals.